Barring a major snafu, it appears that the Writers Guild of America and the Hollywood studios could kiss and make up just in time for Valentine's Day. The 3-month strike has wreaked havoc financially, with writers losing nearly $250 million and studios 10 times that amount. In today's edition of Medialand, we try to figure out if there are any winners or losers. I assume there are many. For answers, we turn to Mark Rosenwig. Mark is a former programmer for King World and currently is a professor of television at Montclair State University. And in Los Angeles is Jonathan Handel. He is an entertainment attorney at Troy Gould. Good morning, guys.
Good morning.
All right, Jonathan, let me get started with you. We were just listening to Louise Pinnell's report about where we stand in terms of the strike. One of the things she talked about is the unions have about 10 days to sign off on the deal. Give us some more specifics. What do you expect?
Well, we are very confident that the deal will be approved. The mood among the writers, the mood during the membership meetings you referred to, was overwhelmingly positive. It was described to me by 3 separate sources as a love fest. So we would be very surprised if the writers didn't, A, lift the strike, and we'd see writers back to work on Wednesday, and B, vote to approve the contract, which will take 10 days or so.
Love fest. We like that, Mark. I mean, after all this bloodshed, who are the big winners in this thing getting resolved?
Well, there are a lot of potential winners. I think one of them is Jay Leno. I mean, he came on in the middle of this strike with no writers. He usually has up to 19 writers, and he retained his crown and solidified it as lead over David Letterman as the king of late-night television. And this is a guy who had to write the monologues himself, who had to also be in a situation where he had B-grade guests. The celebrities wouldn't come on the show. He had a lot of politicians. He had a lot of animal acts. Great comedic talent, and he made the most of it. So it's no secret that Jay Leno provides 15% of NBC Universal's profits every year, and he's a big winner in this.
And you know, I noticed you also mentioned reality TV and the Oscars. Tell me, how does reality has clearly won because a lot of the shows haven't been on, but is it going to win long term?
I think it is. I think that's why the Writers Guild tried to get their hands on reality shows, get jurisdiction over them, game shows as well. And I think this genre is here to stay. We're not getting rid of Ryan Seacrest so quickly.
Yeah, Ryan Seacrest, my goodness, he is everywhere. All right, Jonathan, let me turn to you. What do you think the 3 biggest winners were?
The first winner is the writers and the Writers Guild itself. They successfully faced down 8 large media companies, including 6 multinational conglomerates. They got themselves a good deal, not a great deal, but a good deal, and most importantly, they got themselves a beachhead on the internet, which they were desperately needing to do. They need to be part of that new technology. Secondly, of course, the Oscars were a winner. We are going to see Oscars with the glitz and stars that we've become accustomed to. And thirdly, the internet, YouTube and those various other sites. A lot of viewers migrated to the internet during the strike. Some of them won't return. That's to the benefit of the internet, not so good for television.
All I got to say is I'm so psyched to hear the 2 of you say one of the biggest winners is the Oscars, because people like me are obsessed with that show. We're so excited that is going to be on.
There's no question. I mean, it's the second largest audience on television every year, behind the Super Bowl, $1.6 million at least for a 30-second spot. 40 million people watch. Huge promotional vehicle for the movie industry. The timing of the settlement's no secret. They want the Oscars back.
Mark, let's quickly go through some of the losers. Who's losing out on this deal?
Well, I think the traditional network pilot system could go by the boards. NBC is already making noises that they now do 20 pilots a year. They may cut back to 5. They may start using the cable model, which is only 6 episodes at a time of new series. That could change the equation, and all the profits that actors make off of these pilots, some of them never get on the air. I think another thing is the marginal series that we have right now. Some of them are in danger of not coming back next year because they can't produce enough episodes to go forward in a positive manner in the May sweeps.
All right, Jonathan, let me turn to you. What do you think are the 3 main losers in this deal?
The first loser, very definitely, was the LA economy, which lost about $2 billion in spending, wages. A lot of those jobs aren't coming back, at least not immediately. Some people lost their homes. A lot of people lost their jobs. A television program may have 5 writers on it, but it has as many as 200 crew members. And of course, when production was shut down, they lost their jobs. The second major loser was the Golden Globes, which the writers successfully turned into a cut-rate press conference. That showed the industry what the Oscars might look like, and that was part of what drove the settlement here. The third major loser is the television business, especially network television. As people migrate to the internet, network television, which is already a difficult business, becomes an even more difficult business. Television, especially network, like the music industry, as your earlier piece pointed out, is feeling the heat from the internet.
All right, maybe they're helping us over here in cable land. All right, Jonathan and Mark, I'm going to have to leave it there. Thank you both so much for joining us this morning.
Thank you.
All right, well, I should mention from last night's Grammys, although